guys, welcome to Sketch Day. It's been a long day for me. I actually started at 5 a.m. this morning. Did a stream with Adobe. What else did I do? I taught my class, had some lunch, and here we are. So we're going hard. We are here. For those that are channel members and patrons, I pushed out a weekly update for you guys. You can check that out. I just want to say I love you. Thank you. You're awesome. That's it. You know the rest. Thanks for joining today. The theme is video games, so we're going to draw some video game related stuff. I'm going to, of course, lean on your suggestions, so if you have ideas, thoughts, whatever, maybe I'll do some Mario stuff. I don't know. It'll be fun. Okay. Beverage and Toad today, by the way, so all bets are off. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Svetlana, Jordan. It's just like Jordan, but different. Lions and Jackson, hello. I'm definitely feeling a little silly, perhaps tired, so we're gonna just have fun and chill. I'm gonna be able to go for about an hour 15 today. You know me, maybe I'll come back later, maybe not, we'll see. But figured we'd kick things off. Anyways, we'll be using an iPad Pro 12.9 inch to kick things off. I am using Procreate, by the way, so let's get it done. Pinball. Oh yeah, pinball. We could do a pinball thing. Man, that's a lot of details. I did play pinball, mostly virtual, but okay, so I'm using Procreate today. As promised, we do some digital stuff. Let's go with the usual 17 by 11. So pinball is a great suggestion. Thank you, Lori. I guess technically it's a video game, technically, right? Some people will probably dispute that, but we'll get started here. So if you're watching on Instagram, again, I can't figure out my technical setup. So I'm just going to say, if you want any chance of me even seeing a comment, you'll have to join the YouTube. That's it. All right, so we'll warm up here with some straight lines. I'm just going to blow through this. We're going to go quick today. All quick sketches. My goal is maybe 3 things. Nice thing about being a channel member, Patreon. Let me know if I sound okay, by the way. I don't have my in-ear monitor today set up, but let me know if I sound good. If not, I'll make some changes, adjustments, and so forth. The music might be a little bit loud, so let me kill that just a bit there. Should be better. Okay, so circles, lines, ellipses, you know the drill here on Sketch Day. Quite literally Sketch Day. I do draw every day. I do get questions. I had someone message me out of the blue on Instagram. I'll tell you about this. And they were like, hey. And I was like, hey. I get lots of messages, by the way. I was like, what's up? Hey, so how much have I tried any VR stuff? I do have a VR headset, and I've thought about bringing it on stream. I don't know quite how to do that yet, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Great question, Svetlana. Anyhow, they were like, hey, what's up? Hey, so how much do designers make in the US? I'm like, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to $100 an hour. Just depends. I mean, I just gave a range, right? Some designers make more than that. Anyhow, but then they got like super pushy. It was weird. Work with me. I was like, whoa, that's not how it goes, man. That is not how it goes. So that goes for the Discord as well. If you're joining this Discord, and the server's been blowing up, so great to hear. I don't mean literally, by the way, so don't panic. Just very active. I may need to add another boost to the server at some point. Got lots of posts, lots of submissions, lots of help. People are way more talented, or at least patient, if not more talented than I am, posting some amazing drawings and illustrations. So if you're looking for feedback, inspiration, motivation, perspiration, all of it, check out the Discord. sketchaday.com/discord. All right, so I got my ellipses, circles, lines in. Now let's draw. First request was from Lori. Pinball machine. I don't remember how these look, but I think I can probably get away with something like this. I think. It feels a little bit too wide. So maybe something like this. All right, this is maybe we'll do a couple perspectives, because this is more of a product presentation perspective. Do these come back? I don't remember if they go back. It'd be cool if the like cabinet was cantilevered though, like a piece of mid-century modern furniture. Wouldn't that be cool? But I'm pretty sure we had legs up front. And as far as height goes, we may have to scale this down. So I am using Procreate. Let's do a couple of these machines just to kick things off. If you have something video game related that you want me to draw, look at, sketch, whatever, let me know. And didn't they have like their little buttons on the side? Perhaps a better perspective even might be something. Okay, I'm gonna save that perspective, but pretty sure they were kind of like this. Maybe I should look one up. Let's go. What's up, Explosive Yoda Radek? Hello. Pinball. Pinball machine. Let's see. Because I'm just kind of going from my head here. All right. I wasn't too far off. Seems like they're a little bit deeper in terms of the thickness here. So you can just go for it. A little bit deeper. I mean, we can do our own pinball machine, of course. I am using my own brushes. This is the Spencil. It's just a digital pencil I created for use in Procreate, and there's a version for Adobe Fresco as well. I've had some people ask about the Sketchbook Pro. Definitely planning on it. Have not started on it. I do make all my brushes from scratch, so it's not a matter of like, hey, can you just copy and paste into Sketchbook Pro? No. I gotta spend some time with the app, get to know the app, see what works, and then I'll create something. That's how I roll. Why is this angled? It's like angled down. So this leg should be a little bit longer, which therefore makes my shadow incorrect. Anyhow, so just a little bit of advice for people who meet people online. Just be decent. Don't be pushy. Don't be entitled to other people's time. Everyone's busy. Okay, everyone's got something going on. We're all in this pandemic. Oh yeah, so then the person was like, hey, we should work together. And I was like, I'm good, man. I don't have any immediate need for anything. So you believe in being alone then? I was like, whoa. Like literally, like, whoa, easy now. Don't assume. It's healthier that way. All right, so some sort of pinball thing here is what we're doing. And so, Lori, this is where your request gets a little bit crazy because, you know, on the inside of the machine, I don't know if I want to do all the bumpers and lights and things. So what I might do is just use color to illustrate that, but at least we can do some sort of flipper or hint at some sort of flipper, maybe some sort of rail thing, perhaps. And these things are crazy. Holes in the surface, whatever. And then I'll just shade in here. Pinball machine, like if someone hired me to do one, and I'll just throw some crazy graphics on. I don't know what this is. If someone were to hire me to do a pinball machine, I would actually take this portion of the pinball machine. Let's see. I'd probably do something like this and then like lay it out vertically. Right? You could even use a symmetry tool in let's see, let's go to canvas, drawing guide, let's turn that on, edit, let's go to symmetry, probably throw something like that in, and then now, you know, you could sketch your bumpers in if there's some sort of, you know, trap here, or maybe it's a rail. You know, we can sketch these things in. This is the Devil's DNA is the name of this game. Or something. They always have like these epic names for sure. So you could do something like this, and then that way at least, you know, you're working with that looked a little too phallic, so let's change that. A little bit too phallic. But yeah, when you work with symmetry, it just makes it a little easier. I also had a request for some car sketching. So I think on Tuesday we're gonna do, maybe it's a heart. Anyhow, you just design all the stuff in here, and then when you need to turn it off, you can just tap on the layer, turn off the drawing assist, and we should no longer have symmetry on that layer. So yeah, you could do, maybe it is the devil's DNA or heart, or I don't know. Maybe these are little trails or whatever. You've got slots, and ooh, you could have a little run that goes maybe underneath some stuff, across. I don't know, I'd have to look at one to kind of figure it out a bit better, but I would do, if I were actually doing one, I would definitely do a top view. Let's just do one quick line here just to tighten it up, but I would do like a top view, right? Just to like tie the concepts together. But if we're going to talk about perspective and point of view and what might be the most appropriate here, maybe even something like this, where we have a very forced perspective and a nice top-down view would be nice. Okay, so something a little like this. Sketching this really lightly so we can figure it out. It's gonna feel awkward, so I just want to make sure I get it right. But yeah, you could do somewhat of a forced perspective here, and let's throw in a bit of a shadow. So at least this way, right? Like so, and let's take, just for the sake of efficiency here, take this 3-finger swipe down, cut and paste. I'm actually gonna go ahead and duplicate because that was a mistake, and now I can move this into place. Actually, let's undo. Just gonna select the bits I need. 3-finger swipe, cut and paste, and let's delete the layer below. Make a selection, go for freeform, actually distort, and now I can kind of pull this into place, this top-down view. Kind of pull this into place. If we wanted to add stuff, we could add stuff to it, for example. So that's how I would do a pinball machine and work very quickly. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Let me take a look here. Futuristic gaming mouse. I always get gaming mouse requests, but I could do something like that. Subnautica, No Man's Sky. Okay. I used to play, my kids would call it No Mansky. Dad, can we play No Mansky? I'd be like, sure, we can play No Mansky. But yeah, they would, it was very cute. They would call it No Mansky. So that's one of the reasons why I would do a top-down view, by the way. It's because I know I could like drop it into other views like this, so you're not having to like think about the perspective as much. Just keep this rough, quick and dirty. I had a great chat with a contemporary of mine. So I mentioned on the stream, I think a couple streams ago, there's some talk about, you know, whether sketching is necessary. Some of you saw that post on Instagram. Anyhow, I had a great little chat yesterday. Went well with the founder of Brave. It's a personal device company. I'll just put it that way. You can look it up if you want. This is 11 by 17. 11 by 17. Command and Conquer. Oh yeah, StarCraft. There's so many games. So many games. So yeah, I'd have to look at an actual pinball board here. They are pretty crazy. They are pretty crazy. So I just looked at a picture and I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Some sort of score indicator of some sort. Definitely difficult in terms of details. So thanks for the challenge, Lori. Just working quick here. Probably you could probably wash this with some marker. When I say wash, I just mean lightly color. Should we do a devil on the front? Some sort, since it's the devil's heart or whatever the game is called. I don't want to do it, but we'll just leave the front blank here. Alright, so we could do something like this. Alright, let me just double check on perspectives, fix, this back edge. A couple little tweaks. So yeah, I had fun on Adobe Live today. Check it out if you missed it. I did post the links in the Discord. We did some like quick architectural stuff, focused on perspective for the most part. So if those are things that interest you, you can check that out or just hang out here. Either way. All right, let's do some quick color. New layer. I'm gonna put this below everything else. Let's see, how are we on time? We're okay on time. We are okay. All right, maybe let's do some reds. Oops, turned out to be gray. Let's do some red here. Maybe go a little deeper, or you could do like a yellow or something. Then should we do green or blue? Do a blue. So yeah, right tool for the right job would be my approach here, in the sense that I may not want to commit to sketching all of this out, just because one, it's super detailed. Two, you know, you're gonna have surfaces and lights and all sorts of stuff happening. But let's see, lights, I could do small brush, new layer. Let's change the blending mode to add. Then we could do just some little lights here and there. But again, more interested in conveying the feeling of the thing than necessarily the details. Right here anyways. Alright, Sketch Day Live. Thanks again for joining. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Staying happy, healthy, and all that. Next week is, at least in the United States, Thanksgiving, so I'll probably still stream. It might be a little spotty. I don't think anyone's going anywhere, at least I hope not. So we'll see. That's weird. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, there's my colors. Where'd my sketch go? There it is. Okay. So that's my super quick pinball machine sketch page for you guys. If you do sketch digitally, is there anything, I guess, question-wise you have about working digitally on an iPad Pro that I can answer for you about Procreate? I am curious. No pressure if you got nothing. It's all good. All right, so let's see what else we've got in the chat. I mean, I could do VR goggles. That'd be interesting. Let's just do a quick side profile sketch here just to round out the page in the meantime. But yeah, they kind of look like this. It's pinball machines. Gray sketch, black lines, super fast. Got some reference, or at least scale if nothing else. There was someone in the Discord that was working on a pinball machine. I forget who, but I wonder if they're done with it. They were building their own pinball machine. How to cut and paste instead of copy and paste. Oh, that's really easy. So I just did this sketch, right? Right there. So if I want to, well, let's just merge it all together. Boom. So pinch, it's all merged together. Let's say I do want to copy and paste something, you know, like this sketch we spent some time on. Make a selection, just like that. Then you're going to take your 3 fingers and swipe down. Oops. Tap the arrow, it's a little easier. Take your 3 fingers, swipe down, this menu pops up. Now I can cut, copy, copy all, duplicate, cut, and paste. If I hit cut and paste, it actually removes this from the rest of the sketch here. Now I can duplicate if I want. I could have done that as well by doing copy and paste, and now I have an additional sketch on the page. So we can make some tweaks like hue, saturation, brightness, and make this feel like, you know, somewhat different concept. So just a random example, but how you might use, you know, cut and paste, copy and paste to just work a little bit quicker digitally, a little bit more quickly, I should say. All right, so as always, Sketch is available on the Google Drive. You can download the original Procreate file, replay it to your heart's content. That's available for members and patrons. Thanks again. Love you all. Keep messing up scale and proportions when drawing in perspective. Any tips or methods? Just practice. Just practice. Hello, iRoll Brayers. What are my thoughts on Fresco versus Procreate? They each have their strengths. They're both great apps. Fresco to me feels a bit more like artistic. I'm trying to think of a better way to say that, but I do love the live brushes. And then Procreate for me, I tend to do more design sketching in Procreate. So maybe that's a force of habit or convenience, but that's how it's kind of worked out for me. So thanks for joining, though. It's good to have you here, iRoll Brayers. Welcome. Welcome. Crazy Taxi, Zelda, Dreamcast controller. I forgot what the Dreamcast controller looks like. Let's see. Dreamcast controller. Oh, that thing is crazy. Now I remember. Maybe it's a repressed memory. Okay, let's do a quick Dreamcast controller, and I'm just gonna do some fast airbrush, gray marker. Let's figure this out. Okay, so we'll go 1 like that. Let's go down, down, out, like so. A little clean up here. Sometimes when you're drawing on these digital packages, your palm can get in the way. Okay, so just something to be aware of. Just repositioning on the canvas here. To also further answer your question, iRoll Bears, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. I am but I do help beta test features in Fresco. So I have access to information, and I do know that things are being worked on that'll make that whole experience so much better. So that is one thing I do appreciate with Adobe, is they work very quickly to make improvements where needed. So, all right, so let's go real quick and dirty today. This is the quick and dirty show on Sketchaday. Thanks for hanging out. It seems to be a little bit closer, so let's make a selection. Just move this up. So some things that are missing, for example, I know some people love perspective guides. I don't really use them, or ellipse templates, things like that, as I'm trying to push myself to be able to draw without needing them. Okay, so quick and dirty, we'll throw some color on a little bit here. I'm just trying to get these basic shapes down. All right, looks like it kind of does this thing here. And we're gonna sweep up like so. I'm not sure if it's pillowed on the inside. I would hope it is, so I'm gonna add that. And then we've got this funky triangle section. Or not triangle, but just curve section in here. I also am not sure on the overall thickness of the controller, so I'm kind of just guessing a little bit here. Kind of just guessing, and on some of these transitions. So if you had one and you're upset that it's not perfect, my apologies. I never did have a Dreamcast. My first game system in my life was the PlayStation 3, actually. That was the first one I owned, and I bought it when I was on an internship for General Motors. We all were getting paid so well. I mean, we were students, but we were all getting paid so well that we would just buy and do the craziest. So I think 3 of us went and we just were like, yeah, let's buy it. Let's buy a PS3. Okay. And so we did. We just went and bought PlayStations and then would do LAN parties and play on the weekends. So that was pretty fun. All right, let's wrap up here. Not wrap up, but wrap this line. So like I always say, usually when you see a sketch, you know, there's many underlays or redos, corrections. I'm just trying to go with the flow today and just go fast because time is somewhat limited for me. So, and I was like, I could stream later, but I have to stream. So that's why I came on when I did. All right, let's reposition that button. Just gonna roll with it. Nice and loose today. So on the order of finish with regards to these sketches, this is probably the lowest or very close to the lowest level of sketch I would even show a client. Because overall it does, you know, show the form. If I need to make some quick corrections here, we can always use the warp command in Procreate just to tweak a little bit. So this is one of those features that is not present in Adobe Fresco. So if you're dependent on something like a warp, I would say, you know, that's where something like Fresco falls a little bit short. Okay, let's go to the trying to think here. What do I want to use? Mega Pack. Let's go with the real marker. The marker brushes I created for Fresco are actually better, I think, in some ways, than the marker brushes I created for Procreate. So there is that too to consider. All right, quick wash. And now let's erase what we don't need. Make sure I'm on a nice round brush here. We'll do our erase and just keep humming. Is it important to learn anatomy, human hands? It doesn't hurt. I haven't suffered, I guess you could say, in my career because of my lack, but there are times where I do wish I had a better grasp on it personally. Okay. So if you know how to do that, keep it up. It's awesome. It's really cool. Let's go ahead and lighten up this gray. It's a little bit too dark. When you're rendering something like white, you kind of need a little bit of gray in there to make it work. So let's go to curves. I'm gonna lighten this up just a bit, just a titch. Okay, new layer. Question is, do you think Fresco was created to compete with Procreate? I don't know. I can't speak to that or the intentions of the company, but it's a great product. They're both great products. All right, a little bit of airbrush here on the side now. Reduce the brush size. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So now it's starting to pop and feel better, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes you can just work real quick here. Try and get what you need. Boom. New layer. Let's add some colors. I think these buttons. Let's see. We got red, blue. So let's get some of this red, and I will use that real marker again, smaller version. So we got red, we have yellow. What's this, green or teal? Looks more like a teal. And then blue. Something like that. Did any of you guys get the new ARM-based Mac? I'm curious. Any of you get that? And if so, how's it been for you? I ordered one, and I'm going to review it from the perspective of creatives. So I've been collecting feedback on the Discord. So if you have questions, post them there. Don't tell me on the stream today. Join the Discord. Sketchaday.com/Discord. And yeah, I'd be curious to hear about your experience, but also know what you want to hear or find out about. Okay, so just kind of over painting now. And then I'll erase what we don't need. Let's make sure we're on the right layer. Okay, we're on the right layer. Woo, we're on the right layer. Dreamcast was like ahead of its time though, wasn't it? Ahead of its time meaning like, you know, having this controller with a screen on it. Sometimes some technologies are just a bit too much at the time. Now I want to lighten this up, or we can adjust the opacity a bit here too. Clean up again. I feel like we're humming today, so this is good. This is good. All right, new layer. I'm gonna go with white just below here, and let's do original Sketchaday brush pack 1. Has a very delightful soft airbrush. I really need to just make a folder or something of all my favorites. That's what I really need to do. So now I'm kind of airbrushing with a little white just to push up against some of these grays that I had, and even just fade things out just a little bit as well. We need some texture on there, which I love texture. Got a nice little splatter brush you can use as well. So I'm going to do this on a new layer, just like that. And then lower the opacity so we have a very subtle texture as a part of that. You know, plastic tends to be textured unless you're Sony and you want to do something else. The texture on the PS5 is actually pretty crazy if you take a look at it up close. So I think there's photos online of the micro texture that they are using on the PS5, and it's pretty crazy. All right, so I'm just gonna I guess I could take the whole shape and just drop it down, but we'll just pretend. Connect that, drag and drop. Now I've got a shadow. See, that's why I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. We'll just erase what we don't need. This illustration's a bit reliant on having a nice clean background, so that's why it looked the way it did. All right. Not because I necessarily made a mistake. All right, so we can do a nice light shadow. Feels pretty good. Or if you want to go heavy, but I'm gonna go with a light shadow there, and let's take out some of our construction lines with the soft airbrush. Just make them a little bit lighter. Something like that. And we will now clean up just with some nice line on the outside there. Cool. If you want to add some shading, you can do that too. All right, super fast Dreamcast. What was on the screen? What would show up here? What would show up there? I don't remember. I don't think I played any real Dreamcast games. What's up, Robert? Thanks for joining. Thank you. You guys should check out Robert. I'll share his Instagram. He's awesome. He's also another design educator over in Europe, actually. So if you're in the same time zone, he goes live quite a bit. Let's see. Boom. I'm going to share his Instagram link for you. Shout out to Robert. Thanks for joining. Boom. There you go. Check out his Instagram, guys. Just a reminder, all the stuff I use, you can find at this link right there. Check it out. Super easy. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have a video game console either, but I would still go to friends' homes and play. And still go and play. I guess we didn't do a Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe I could do that. Do a Sonic the Hedgehog. So reminder, all this stuff will be shared on the Google Drive for channel members and patrons to download, examine, replay, rewind, do whatever you want. You can print a poster, you can make a t-shirt. It's all yours. That's your perk as a channel member. Hello, Designs by CAD Pro. I'm just checking into the chat. Reminder, if you are watching on the Instagram, I cannot see the screen today, so I'm not intentionally ignoring you. But if you want to pitch in, comment, rant, whatever, YouTube is the way to go. Okay, computer gaming mouse. All right, fine. Let's do a quick gaming mouse. What does a gaming mouse need? Do they have like special things? I know they usually have like extra wheels and buttons, things. Oh, this is gnarly. So I'm gonna use the, let's see, there's a Rocket mouse or this Red Dragon as a inspiration here, but how about we just go for it? How about we just go for it? I'm gonna try and work quickly today, like I said, so just go for it. Just get a nice shape to start. Some of these crazy gamer things here. You gamers? Alright, so this I'm thinking maybe there's some like function buttons that you could have on the side. Buttons themselves, I guess you could have like a little bit of a flare here as well. We could. Maybe this is some sort of actual pass-through thing on the mouse. Does it have to be wired? It's a gaming mouse. I mean, this isn't even really in perspective, so how about we just make this a thumbnail and then we'll do perspective version next to it. I'm gonna start with a ball here, extend this out. This is kind of how I like to do my mice if I'm doing them. And let's see, kind of had this section up front, so I want to keep that. And this is where we had those buttons, or maybe it's just some grippy things, I don't know. We could go down and then back up, or a little recess right there, and wheel. All right. So something like that. The first sketch, I'm going to shrink this guy down a little bit, and then let's have another supporting character, if you will, in our gaming mouse. I really like this this view here. So wheel right there. Here's the body. Maybe this drops down, comes back up, and we have this like reveal. Okay, so just another funky perspective there, but I could use these now. Let's merge these. Actually, didn't mean to merge those right away. Okay, I do want to make this one just a smidge bigger, because it's like the main view, and so this one we can make this the tiniest. All right, so we have some hierarchy in our layer order. Today on Adobe Live, I was telling everyone, you know, there's a couple of things you want to pay attention to when you are, I'm just going to render one of these, but when you're drawing in perspective, one is paying attention to saturation, okay, scale, and detail. And those things typically are tricks you can use to communicate depth. All right, so this is essentially the equivalent of using a gray marker technique. Use this in concept art quite a bit. This is a really thick thick piece of plastic, so let's thin it out a bit. Maybe have some taper here. All right, so starting with that gray marker, and now I can kind of come up and sculpt this a bit. Yeah, I saw you streaming earlier, Robert. I was like, oh no, we're gonna be on at the same time. Same time. So thanks for all you do. You guys check him out. Just another design educator, design sketching, illustration. I don't know if should I call you an educator or you're just passionate about drawing and design. I don't want to mischaracterize you. Robert Laszlo Kiss, everyone. Alright, so when I'm designing something, I like to try and extend lines and find interesting interactions and then or intersections rather, and then turn those into design elements. So you can go from gesture, for example, to then making some sense of what you're doing if you sometimes extend those lines out. So just a little tip there for you, okay, you young designer, illustrator types, as you work these things out. And no, I've not conducted research to figure out what gamers like in their mice or anything. That's certainly part of the process and something I would strongly recommend, but we're just having fun today. All right, we're just having fun. But if this were a real project, that's likely something I would do to try and figure out, okay, what do maybe even just taking the shape, like, oh, I found an interesting kind of departure from the uniformity here in these proposed keys. Like, what if I now take this shape and have an interesting surface transition? It's kind of fun. So sometimes when you sketch gesturally, especially in the arena area of form exploration, you can discover some interesting things as you go. And I'm imagining, for example, how I might deal with some of these surface transitions, okay? But I don't want to get too much in the weeds of designing the actual thing, and just kind of chill today. We'll talk about the illustration portion at least. I'll leave that for the experts. Just kidding. Alright, so maybe I've got that little detail on the side. We'll keep this, like I said, gray, but just pulling out of the quick sketching here. Yes, thank you for answering that, Robert. So it does come from traditional like concept sketching. Oh, I did it on the same layer. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna save the main sketch. So 3-finger swipe, cut and paste. The other ones, 2-finger tap, I can reduce the opacity. Now jump to the other view, boom. And maybe I just want to focus on a particular detail. I don't even have to sketch the whole thing. So if I just want to focus on a certain portion, like exploring what this recess looks like on this hardware product. All right, so video games is a fun topic. It can mean a lot of things. Thanks for the suggestions. Getting into a little bit of hardware here. All right, maybe there's even a pattern, right? So I can kind of come in. It's a lot of work, but at least it captures a thought about design intent, about maybe a micro texture for grip or whatever. Here, we'll add some color, don't worry. And maybe I just fade this out and not be as specific, but just trying to like hone in on this one area. Perhaps even gesturally expressing what the intent of the shape might be. Super fast, super quick, boom. Add some notes for clarity if need be. Okay, now we have a detail might as well get this variant done. Might as well. All right, so I used a little visual trick here. You guys have heard me talk about line weights. I'm gonna give you a little lesson too. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little lesson real quick about what that is, what it means, why we do it, and how your brains kind of process all that. All right, so remember, perspective is really trying to capture. I guess I'm just hot off the heels of that Adobe presentation because it was all perspective, and Latrice was there. It was just all like, here's some basic perspective tips, blowing people's minds and socks off. Like, whoa. Okay, but even on the page itself, there's a hierarchy when it comes to emphasis, detail, scale, and so forth. So, for example, our main sketch here, I may have a little heavier line weight by nature just because it's closer to us. Okay, so line weight is one of those things that you can use to indicate proximity. Let me show you. Where did I go to the gallery? All right, so let's hide these layers, and on a new layer. So if I have two shapes like this, okay, it's pretty easy to tell, I think, which one's in front of the other, but I can't definitively say. You know why? Because in perspective, this could also be just a matter of two shapes that happen to be lined up. I don't know if it's a 2D shape. I don't know if it's a 3D shape. It's really hard for me to tell. Okay, I could quite literally have, you know, a plane like this, and then I could have a form like this, and it just so happens that they line up. All right, we move that forward. So if I'm looking at it this way, right, it's not safe to assume that these are equal. Okay, so line weight helps us in the sense that, okay, if I just make this a little heavier here, a little heavier here, okay, and maybe even on the outside here, now I'm saying, okay, that we have something more akin to this, where I have a shape or a form, could be a shape or a form, it's not entirely clear, but it's more clear, that is in front of another. I think of the right way to draw this, actually. Let's try this from this perspective. It's more akin to something like so. Okay, where going back, that overlay or that line weight, right, is really just on this edge right there. So hopefully that makes sense. But small example, similar or simple example rather, of the power of lines, line weight, and how you can, like, in a drawing, look at comics, look at how they shade, look at how they outline things. There's a lot of information packed in there. Okay, so I just want to touch on that real quick. Back to our mouse. Okay, let's see, new layer here, and I could even turn that off if I want, or further reduce the opacity. I'm going to just drop the opacity on this new layer now. Let's jump to an airbrush. Where's my mega pack? Sketch Day mega pack, 30 brushes, guys. Insane. Okay, so I got my mega pack, and now, you know, if I had a base color, cool, but you don't have to have a base color. Let's just throw in some shadow core, and then maybe focus on a bit of light. All right, so a little bit of shade. Oops, wrong eraser. I need a hard eraser, so I have a nice soft airbrush hard eraser, crisp edge. Now this sketch here reads a lot better. All right, we got this guy here. Let's throw some gamer color on. I don't mean to be condescending. Let's throw some gamer colors on. Maybe there's some kind of tealy green we can throw in here. I'm gonna jump to and use this real marker brush, and let's just shade in this section. So a nice crisp area of color can sometimes bring things together, tighten them up. I'm gonna make sure we're on the right layer here, but I want this whole section right here to just be green. Okay, so something like that. You make sure it's on its own layer, guys. My bad. And let's double check on the sketch lines. I'm actually going to switch the blend mode of this layer to multiply. And okay, so now I should have better luck with my color. All right, that looks better. Something like that. You could also outline the area and just fill it in with a solid color if that's what you're going for. This brush is kind of nice though, it does have some buildup to it. Okay, it's pressure sensitive. We can also just drop our opacity, or not opacity, but the value in the brush itself. Just brush that in. Super quick today. Ooh, it's not Liquid Friday, but it is Thirsty Thursday. What's up, Wild Design? Hello. Thanks for joining from the Instagram. Latrice, thank you. Yeah, I gave this huge rundown basically on perspective drawing. You never know, it's actually an interesting show just because personally I don't know who's gonna join, what skill levels, so you kind of have to keep it's a balance. You got to keep it complex enough that it's interesting, but also simple enough that it's not intimidating, and that's really hard to do. So I'm glad you enjoyed that a bit. And like I said, don't worry, I got some Photoshop love coming for you soon once I get my setup switched over. Let's get some highlights in here. Basically anything that's facing upward. Add a little bit of an edge. These buttons that are raised. Maybe a little bit of shadow behind them too. Not the right color. Let's go with something like this. I'm breaking one of my rules, which is I don't usually sketch over the sketch, but because I wanted to move super quick today and get like 3 or 4 of these done before I have to end, I just have an important thing to do in a few minutes. So pardon the hastiness and enjoy the tastiness. That is sketching today. All right, here we go. Okay, so maybe something like that, just real quick, fast digital sketch. All right, so that's 3. What are we gonna do next? We got our gaming mice, we got a controller, we got a pinball machine. That's 3. Procreate, and I also export PSD files that I will upload. All right, I've got about 10 minutes now, so let's see what we can do. 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see. A gerbil keeping me company as I sketch. Logitech mouse. Okay, Robert, sorry, I misspoke. I don't have a background in education, but I love sharing my knowledge. Me too. Somebody asked me why, while I wait for your suggestions, somebody asked me why I do what I do today on Instagram, actually, in messages. And it really just all began with thinking back to when I was in school, and I didn't quite have the resources that many of you have today. Like, the internet is insane right now. The Rat 7 gaming mouse. Okay, I'll check that out. The internet's insane. Like, there's so many resources. So many resources. Gaming mice look like Transformers and Robotech and Cyborg from Justice League got together and had a baby. Whoa, Mad Catz Rat 7. That's insane. Do you game, Robert? This thing's nuts. Okay, next time I do a gaming mouse, I'm gonna up the ante a little bit because this thing is nuts. It's cool. It's cool looking. But it is nuts. Let's see. Maybe I'll do something Mario. Let's do something Mario for fun. Like simple. Like Toad from Mario. Since I haven't really done a I mean I did a character yesterday, but you know, it'd be fun to kind of do one here. So when I do character illustrations, things like that, I tend to like to do like a red line, blue line type thing. What should Toad be doing though? And perspective wise, is Toad happy? Is Toad upset that perhaps looks kind of like a Lego figure here. Maybe he's just not happy. He's just tired of stomping. How does his hands look? Do I have to draw fingers on this dude? I'm not gonna draw fingers on him. Tired of the fight. He's tired of this eternal battle. He's like, Mario, you keep losing this princess. Why? Why do you keep losing this princess? Okay, so just in case you're wondering, the perspective is a bit forced in the sense that it's looking up in this case. On this dude, it's a little bit weird. Maybe I should rotate him. That'll be fun. Alright, so if we rotated Toad and he was still, like we're still looking up. And Toad, he'd probably look something like this. Let's draw his body here. So by rotate, I mean now I'm moving the center of the character over. Let's get a little bit bigger brush here. He's fed up though. He's definitely fed up, tired of the fight. He has some weird vest. So this is really an odd character. Weird vest, and you know, he's just chilling. Little Toad. All right, let's see if we can tweak our perspective even more. A little bit of a distort here, and some warp and distort action. All right, so now it's time for, now that I got like the general thing down, some blue line, and I'm gonna jump to my stencil, a little bit big here, and now I can kind of focus on things like eyes. Just like I said, he's not happy. He's just tired, you know? He's got some scar on his face or something. He's just tired of the fight. Don't you guys feel like that some days? You're just like tired. All right, so we got I know he doesn't have like a chiseled chin or anything, but I just want to make an allowance for that. Here in my design. And yeah, why does he have fingers? There's so many questions here about Toad. Has anyone thought to even ask these questions? You know? Why does he have fingers? Why? All right, a little bit smaller on the foot that's away from us, perhaps. So now I've got a red line, blue line drawing that I can work with here. And a 2-finger tap, lower the opacity, and now jump to, I mean, at this point I could either color or, did I just do that? I hope the stream doesn't end. I don't think it will. I actually just closed my YouTube window, so I have no idea if the stream's still going. I think it should be going. Let's see here. Anyhow, I was saying at this point, yeah, we're still good. At this point, I could just jump to color, or we can do some quick line work. Yeah, exactly. If he's a toad, why is he amphibious? Well, he's a toadstool. He's a toadstool. Receipt, you asked the same question earlier. It's important to sketch anatomy. It's up to you, man. It's entirely up to you, but I don't see any reason why not. Why it would hurt you. Reminds me of Homestar Runner in some ways, a little bit. This toad sketch. He's just tired, like I said. It's like, Mario, get it together. Get it together. Yeah, this is a fun one. So yeah, quick and dirty sketch day today. We're just going for it. And that's my little cheat, so I don't have to do Toad's weird fingers. Because should he have fingers, or should he, like, literally, if you look at drawings of Toad, he's got like a full-on palm with like thumb and fingers and all of it. I'm just like, what? He should have like a mitt, shouldn't he? Or at the very least, like 3 fingers. I guess that palm's a little bit weird. At the very least, 3 fingers, but not... No. That's so wrong. I'm gonna leave those up, by the way. Weird. Just weird. Does that count as toad shaming? Sketch Day Live. Thanks for joining. And he's got these like pants that are like almost cinched. Or with an elastic waist, I should say. It's like, no more, Mario. No more. I'm not putting up with your stupid fights anymore. He's done. That is the look of a toad that has reached its limit. Alright, so now I can turn off those lines. There's probably some stuff I'd fix here. Like, this arm is kind of bugging me. I'm trying to think how I'd fix it, though. That's like the one main thing bugging me. So let me take a little... Let's see, how we're in time. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of time and fix that up. Real toads have fingers. How did I get my line work this clean? Just practice, Mowgli. Just practice. Lots of practice over and over and over. If you catch the beginning of the stream, I do lots of warm-ups as well every day. So try it out. Let me know how it works for you. Also, the brushes do make a difference. So some brushes are going to have what's called jitter. Some brushes... Let's see. How do I fold my arms? I just want to make sure. Okay. So that's why it feels a little weird. I think that's why it feels a little weird. So I'm going to have this... I was trying to cheat, but I'm gonna have this show like maybe 2 fingers here or something. Besides the overall length, but anyhow, so brushes make a difference to some extent, and certainly technique. All right. Maybe in the background we should have like some like Mario style hills or something. There's like a flower on this guy. But Toad's still not having it. He's like, no. I'm done. I'm done with you jokers. Somehow that feels right. If not super weird, but it feels right. Let's make sure I'm on the right layer. Okay. Let's make a selection now. I'm gonna take these hands. I'm gonna keep them, but I'm gonna put them on their own layer. All right, so 3-finger swipe, cut and paste, puts it on this new layer, and now I can turn it off. Let's turn off our other layer here and just continue. Feels Mario enough. I don't know. I'd have to figure out that stuff. Like, is he, or is this mountain thing on some other whatever in water, and then Toad's just hanging out, you know, on a ledge somewhere? I don't know. Actually, that kind of works. So Toad's on the ledge. We got the hills. What else do we have? We got the guy in the cloud. What do those clouds look like again? Remember the guy in the cloud with like the little hook? He's kind of fishing. He's got his little glasses. Whatever, he could be there. Maybe. Or we could do star. We could do one of those stars or rainbow stuff. Maybe I'll just keep it simple for now. Hello, Tomas. Coolest and cutest thing I ever saw were videos of dogs getting back scratches. Aww. Aww. My kids love back scratches, but they're not dogs. That's not what I'm saying. You're gonna hear in the news, YouTuber Spencer Nugent was accused of comparing his children to dogs. Sources say. Anyhow. The news is fun. Alright, let's do our Toad real quick. Is that too... That's too flesh-like. But Toad does have flesh tones. It does have flesh tones. Like, it's odd. But we'll go with it. Toad's not having it. Quick color. Okay, let's see. We got white on the head. I'm gonna just do this all in the same layer, guys. Just to move quickly with the color. Hopefully I don't mess up too much. Usually I do this on separate layers to preserve editing ability. All right, but we're just gonna move quickly here. I guess Toad runs around bare-chested. Did you guys realize that? It's funny how you look at a video game character, you play with the character, and then you go to draw the character and you're like, holy crap, that is one weird dude. Like, seriously weird. Like, for real. No, guys, like, think about it. So odd. Alright, it's got nice bright blue here. Just get that. I'm gonna leave the background. Did I? Okay, just making sure I'm on the right layer. I was gonna leave the background as is. Let's pick this gray again for Mr. Toad's pants here. We also have a gold trim, luxurious, of course. And Toad's coat. So I'm just looking at a picture for reference for the colors. This image of Toad does not exist. Again, as I've told you before, sometimes I will look at reference just to understand how something's put together and then make some calculated decisions as to how to draw that thing. But it doesn't mean that you're like looking at a picture and copying. It's like, oh, what color is that? Cool. What shape is that? Cool. And then you can draw using your imagination and make things work. So I'm gonna do 2 layers. One's gonna be a shadow layer. Well, 3 layers. Shadow, highlight, and then tone is what I'm gonna do here. Okay, just to give Mr. Toad a more 3D appearance. And yes, apparently he does wear brown leather shoes. Do we even know if Toad has a gender? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I still love Toad. I'm just all those things you don't think about until it comes time to draw said character. Okay, so new layer above layer 6. Layer 6 is my color layer here. I'm gonna make this gray, and then on the layer itself, let's switch the blending mode to multiply, and I'm gonna use a different brush. It is in my brush pack 1, this round brush. Okay, I could also use a marker brush, but I feel like using this one. It's just a nice round brush with a bit of opacity baked in for pressure controls. So I can kind of come in now and just focus on shadows where I need to, like where the coat overlaps here. Happy little shadow on the hands, like so. Is this set to multiply? I gotta make sure. Okay, it's set to multiply, so I'll probably have to tweak that a little bit as well. And on his shoulder, away from the light, maybe under his head here, its head, Toad's head. I should just say Toad's head. Under Toad's head. A little bit on the overlap. Elbow, certainly under his mushroom hairdo. Side of the head as he angrily looks on, frustrated with the world, left in tatters after the battle with Bowser. Toad is not impressed. Not at all. I wouldn't be either. Can you imagine if you had a friend that every time they showed up, they just wrecked everything? And then you got caught up in it because you actually cared? Can you imagine? It'd be so frustrating. So I totally understand. Alright, a little bit of highlight now. And we can always adjust the opacity of these layers, so that's why I'm not like super concerned. And you can move fairly quickly, and if need be, we can erase things as well. Sketch Day Live, thanks for joining, having fun, hopefully, with me here. Appreciate your support, interest, all of it. Shout out to the channel members, as always. So now I'm just kind of focusing on some highlight spots here, where the light may be hitting our friend Toad. As Toad looks on at his world, their world, left in pieces thanks to Mario and his brother Luigi. And don't even bring up Yoshi, man. Like, seriously, do you have to eat everything you see? No, he doesn't. He just can't help himself. I did see an interesting, I think it was on The Verge, I don't remember, but it was like the evolution of the Yoshi character as they're developing it. Really fascinating, interesting process. Like looking at Yoshi right now, he just looks right. Like, oh yeah, that's Yoshi, that's how it's supposed to look. But then when you look at like the development sketches, when you look at the development sketches for Yoshi, you're just like, holy what? Alright, so I'm just trying color burn instead of multiply here. Feels a little bit better, but I'd probably have to go back to my layer right here. Let's try color burn. Yeah, I prefer the multiply. Maybe we'll just do some color burn on top. Lightest lights, darkest darks, all of that stuff is gonna make this feel more 3D, if that's your goal. Of course, you could always stop and just say, enough's enough. Enough is enough. All right, so there's our Toad. We're having fun. Hello, Jose. Can I do my best Toad impression? I don't. How, like a ribbit Toad, like a frog? What do you mean, Lions? Trying to embarrass me now. Thanks to Lions, Jordan, our mods for keeping it down, keeping it decent from you hooligans. All right, so there's Mr. Toad. I do have to run, but super fun as always. It's been an awesome week. I kind of want to like extend it a bit. I'll still show your work on Friday, so no worries there in terms of me giving you a high five and all that good stuff, because it is Fan Friday. It's when I take your requests. Not today. I mean tomorrow. Fan Friday, when I do take those requests. Whatever you guys want to see. Once again, patrons, thank you. Patrons will be getting access to these files right after the stream or when I do upload them. So check that out if you're interested. Patrons and channel members, I should mention. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just visit the channel. There's a prompt for joining the channel, supporting what we're doing here. You can do that, sign up, a couple levels, including me sending you a sketch signed and a personal note every month. Mecha Art, your sketch is on the way, by the way. All right, let's do a quick review. So we got Toad right there in the house, not very happy with Mario's destructive tendencies and his incessant desire to save the princess. I'm not really good at vocal impressions. Oftentimes I get it wrong and I don't want to offend anybody. So there's Toad. Real quick, we did a gaming mouse, super fast as well. Dreamcast controller, great request, thank you. Brought me way back in the day. I never had one, but I don't think I've heard Toad speak lines. I need to look up a YouTube clip, seriously. Or it might just be a repressed memory because Toad is weird AF. Okay. Dreamcast controller. And then we also did some quick pinball machine concepts to warm up. This was Sci-Fi Sunday, by the way. So if you missed that and you want to check out the painting, you can go check that out. All right. And like I said, on Fan Fridays, we take a look at your sketches, sometimes overlay, sometimes not, but it is your time. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will be here as well. Again, thanks for the ideas, suggestions, challenges, and so forth. I don't really have anything else. So much love. We got some new exciting content coming as well to the channel. So stay tuned for that. As I always say, passion is a process. If you learned something today, definitely share it in the Discord. Or better yet, share it with a friend. Tell them about the channel. Tell them what you learned. And you will be better for it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Keep sketching. And I'll see you guys next time right here on Sketch A Day.